Chicagopedia Volume 3 is the latest installment of the Chicago Sun-Times Guide to Speaking Like a Chicagoan.
It features the latest linguistics about events, art, politics, sports, food, drink, and more.
It was put together by a lot of different people from the Sun-Times over the years, and reporter Bob Herguth is the editor. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Is it just me, or does it seem like the Chicago accent is having a moment now? It's like you see James Corden doing things about it. I didn't think we sounded any different than anybody else.
We're not. We're normal. Everybody else is different.
It's weird that people are recognizing it kind of like a Boston accent now, right, Larry?
Yeah. Well, and some of it isn't just, the accent, but the usage of words and how you change them and how you use them differently. So the first one, instead of thanks, it would be what?
Tanks. T-A-N-K-S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we also short have to into...
Have to. Rhymes with
I think a lot of places do that.
I think they do.
It's
too.
a lot of just lazy speaking. What is it with this song here? Let's listen.
One of my favorites. Great one-hit wonder, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yes and no. The band, so it was written by a guy, he's from out east. I think he might be a New Yorker that wrote it, but a Chicago band popularized it, the five stair steps. And at the time, and they're from Chicago, I think their dad was a Chicago police detective, and they were siblings, and they were at one time bigger than the Jackson 5.
Wow.
And to me, so it's a Chicago, it was written by a Chicago guy, no, but popularized by Chicago folk, and so I claim it as ours. And I think it's, if I had to rank the best Chicago songs ever, and there are many, to me, that's one of my favorites.
Ranks right up there. Okay, it is funny when people talk about Hamburger University, that's a Chicago thing.
That's right. The fraternity system there is fantastic. Yes.
So if you're going to, go up into management at McDonald's, they send you to Hamburger University?
Yeah, I think so. Well, management, but also I think franchise holders. Like if you want to, own and run one, I believe that you go through that as well. But yeah, it's there. Our office, our newsroom is just a few blocks away from there. It's at the headquarters of McDonald's, and I actually had to make that phone call to the media relations people at McDonald's just to confirm that there were no sports teams. And she's like, yeah, no.
All right, next one, the Leaning Tower of Niles.
That's right. At one point, when I was growing up, I swear they let people up there and walk and do tours, and just like the real Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah. At least I don't think they allow people up there anymore. And that's actually sort of close to where I live. I drive by it all the time, and it's.
And what's the story behind it?
It's. I forget exactly. I mean, it's old, and I think it's a half-size replica of the real Leaning Tower. And there is a YMCA there that, until somewhat recently, I don't think anybody lives there anymore. But it was basically, a place where guys would live, and and that was. I think it was meant to obscure some sort of like a utility system or water pump or something. It wasn't even, at least in part.
Okay, Dixie Square Mall.
Yeah.
Why is that on the list?
That was actually done by Richard Roper, who you guys I'm sure know, and he had I put the arm on him to do a few definitions this time, and that was the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Right. It was an old mall that was pretty much shuttered, I think, and they built it back up just to destroy it in the movie,
wow.
which is a great scene, one of my favorite scenes from the Blues Brothers.
Oh, that's great. And Don Cornelius, Soul Train host.
That's right, Chicago guy. And, anybody that's of a certain age would just, you turn on the TV, and I think it was on Saturday mornings, right? Whatever it was,
yeah.
and it would be on. And I didn't realize, and that's the beauty of this for me, at least, is like I grew up here, and I just love Chicago and most things about it, but I learned stuff, and I didn't realize it was a Chicago guy, and also that the show actually started here. Yeah. It got exported out, I think, to L.A. eventually, and that's where it made its major run, but it really had Chicago roots.
Yeah. And the word taser is on the list, T-A-Z-E-R.
Yes. You don't make it big time in hockey until you have your own nickname. And that's Jonathan Toews. So that's his nickname.
All right, and how about Shermer High School?
Oh, that is that's sort of the John Hughes, right? One of the John Hughes fake high schools.
Oh.
Was that the one? Now I'm spacing it out. Was that the one from Breakfast Club? I forget. It was one of the John Hughes places.
Yeah.
And again, one that Richard Roper did. We had a whole section on John Hughes, who obviously, is from
Right,
here,
because
lived
that
here.
was like I know the Breakfast Club inside was one high school, and then the outside was another one, and I'm forgetting which was which.
I feel like one was New Trier and
Maine
one was
South was one,
Glenbrook South or
and-
Yeah,
something.
because he went to one of the Glenbrooks, John
Yeah.
Hughes, I think,
Yeah.
right? But it was filmed inside one of the Mains. I think it was Maine North. It was
okay.
I forget which Maine. One of the ones that was closed, so that was inside. But yeah, Schirmer was. I think it may have made a couple of different Hughes movies. I forget. But yeah, that's in there too.
So if people want to get a hold of this, they find this anywhere. This is just kind of
Yeah, so we published it last weekend in the Sunday paper, like little TV guide-sized
Yeah.
booklets, and otherwise you can order them online through thesuntimes.com.
well, Bob. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Bob.
Chicagopedia Volume 3 is out now, and you can email them suggestions for next time.